to Next Level Thinking on St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9.
Welcome back, listeners, to Next Level Thinking. I'm your host, Caroline, and I have here Honey and Sanne today. And we're talking about development, normal development, or when the development goes different of your child. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about developmental delay and what kind of help you could get. We talked about communication more in depth before the break and routines and all the things that you can do. But what if there is a delay? You notice that your child is slow in the development or some milestones are not met. Najila mentioned before the break, the speech and language therapist, to go to your house doctor. Is that also the same with physical milestones that are not met? Do you then also go to the house doctor?
Yeah, of course. I think the house doctor is the first one to go to and to discuss the problems you see, if they are problems. And with this speech and language delay, probably they will refer you to the speech therapist. But if it's a physical problem, like in motor skills, walking, or fine motor skills, physical therapy could be the therapist and the doctor is going to refer you to.
So you have to go to your house doctor as first step.
Yes.
And maybe you get also referred to the pediatrician. That could also be that the pediatrician does the complete checkup of the child and maybe says like, okay, I want to see your child in a couple of months again just to monitor. Maybe sometimes there is not immediately intervention needed, but what do they do with the intervention?
Well, and I think sometimes that if the intervention isn't quite needed yet, parents can be doing things like reading to their children, letting their children walk a lot more, making sure that they practice kind of standing on one foot and other strategies to kind of get them to those milestones.
So you can create some more learning activities as a parent. So that would be a good intervention already to do. So maybe it's not always the specialist who has to do it. You as a parent can also do a lot already, right?
You do. And we talk about, the speech and the physical development, but there are different signs of developmental delays, not only these, the ones we mentioned.
One of the ones that we're hearing a lot about right now is autism. And one of the symptoms of that would be the speech. If the speech is really delayed or there's lack of speech or a lack of eye contact, as well as if you see the child playing with a toy, not the way the toy is supposed to be played with, or kind of just doing some repetitive movements with the toy.
So would you call autism then a developmental delay or?
Yeah, good one. No, it's not a developmental delay. Autism is autism spectrum disorder. So actually the word already says it. It's a disorder. But developmental delay could indicate autism or ADHD.
Okay, so the parents when they notice that their child is not talking, it doesn't mean right away that, oh my God, my child must have autism.
No, not at all.
And don't panic, definitely check the milestones and go to your house doctor.
And also it's very important that I've only diagnosed by specialists, as a healthcare psychologist or psychiatrist. They are the only one in that sense, or the doctor to be able to diagnose or refer to that, matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think parents can get panicked and everyone is diagnosing from your mother-in-law to your neighbor and someone at church. And remember that you have to really go to a specialist and that all those people are giving you some insight, but it could be based on opinion.
Mm-hmm. And then also learning disabilities. That is also something that might be the case if development goes differently, that the child has dyslexia or dyscalculia, or I don't say that properly.
Dyscalculia.
Exactly.
And we have dysgraphia and
those are difficult words.
Yes. Also, if you can't pronounce them, it doesn't mean anything.
Thank you for that. So we discussed a lot of developmental delays, but we discussed an autism spectrum disorder being a developmental disorder, the big difference between that. Is there a therapy that could cure autism? That is a question that I get asked a lot by parents. Can you cure it?
No, you cannot cure it. What autism therapy does, ABA therapy, is it kind of changes the way that your child can react in different situations. So if you work on their social skills, when they're in a social situation, their social skills will get better. If you're working on their behavior, then that behavior might decrease in different situations. So if they were having behavior problems at school, you could get it to decrease.
Okay, so indeed, when your child is diagnosed with, for example, autism or ADHD, another popular disorder mentioned a lot, early intervention will not make this go away, but it can change your child's developmental path by helping your child to deal with things it finds difficult.
Yeah, it gives you the extra supports, and it could improve the outcome for the child. So the earlier you do the intervention, actually, the better.
Yeah.
Right?
And your child could learn those strategies of, oh, okay, I need to do this when I'm in math class, so I know how to be successful.
Yeah. So healthy development, if development goes different, it's a very interesting topic. And I think we can talk about this like for hours and hours, right?
Yes, we do.
But time is short, so we got to round it off. So development is not set in stone. The milestones are not set in stone, but it's important to keep an eye on it, to monitor it as a parent. And if you have concerns, to consult your house doctor, to see if more, follow-up assessment by specialists is needed, or maybe some early intervention. You can find information online about the milestones. There are books. There's a free, app from CDC, and even videos on YouTube that you can use. And read about it and follow up. And as a parent, you can do a lot already. Try to make that contact. We talked to one of the speech and language therapists. She said like at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, make that real contact, that interaction, communicate with your child and interact, and be creative also, in your parenting. So enough to do. I think we learned a lot today. Thank you, Honey, and thank you, Sanne. And thank you all for listening today to Next Level Thinking. This program has been made possible by the Ministry of Public Health and DCOM. Please follow APAP on Facebook to stay updated with our journey to inform the community and strengthen mental health care on the island. And don't forget to tune in again next time to Next Level Thinking on St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9 to learn more about the curious and fascinating ways of why we humans do what we do.